before I started recording this video, I was thinking, what color lights do I want to set for today? What's the tone that I want to set for the scene? And I thought that I would give you a visual of exactly what's going on in my balls right now. Good morning. Hello, it's 5:50 a.m. It's March 14th, and it's a Saturday morning. And I hope you guys are doing swell. My body woke me up at 4 a.m. today after I had a dream about getting into a car accident going to Electric Forest Music Festival. No idea, but I got in an accident. I was yelling. I was super pissed, and I was just starting to show the police officer the video of the accident so that I could prove my innocence and send this bitch to jail. And then I woke up, and I was super sad. But anyway, blue balls. Yeah. I did a bad thing, but it ended up turning out okay. First thing when I woke up, I was just kind of like cruising around on my phone, which I usually try not to do. And I opened up Twitter, and the very first tweet I saw was Wave Kid, who's an awesome dude, responding to a tweet from Ashley Christ regarding getting help from other people regarding your stream and getting editing done so that you can post things to social media. And then when I clicked on Ashley's thread, I saw a reply from another good friend, Katie Peters Plays, and I saw her response. And when I saw her response and Wave Kid's response, I thought, you know what? This is a great reason for a video. And I recorded a video on Twitter, and then that's when I decided that 2 minutes was not going to suffice, and I needed to record a little bit longer. So, you know what's probably a good idea is to read the original tweet so that you can get some context as to what the F I'm talking about. So here was a poll that Ashley put out on Twitter. Being responsible for making content on 69 different platforms is super hard when you do it solo, especially if you already work. At some point, you need a team. Would you be interested in getting someone to edit, write, design, or manage your content? And then there's 4 options to vote. Yeah, I want to hire a team. I'm not ready, but cool. I want to do it myself forever. Show results, please. I like that you put a show results, please. So I voted absolutely. I would love to hire a team. Can I afford to hire a team? Absolutely not. The money that I already pay my editors for one Twitch clip compilation video a month, and usually anywhere from 4 to 8 podcast highlights a month, that is a quarter of my Twitch revenue, you know. So you gotta be careful, because you gotta save a quarter of your Twitch revenue for taxes. A quarter goes to editors, and then the rest is supposed to supply hardware and video games for yourself. And so you just gotta kind of be careful with your spending. What I wanted to do in my original Twitter video to Katie, and for anybody else that was maybe curious, is show how I went about this. Because I was also somebody that was like, no, I'm doing this all myself. I don't trust anyone. Nobody has the same taste as me. Nobody's going to choose the right things as me. And I was that same person. And I hate to give it that tone and make you feel like that's what you sound like. Newsflash, you do. I'm just kidding. It's really difficult to let that responsibility go to somebody else. I was hoping the mic was working, and I just had to look at it real quick. So here, let's just go over. So what I'll do is I'll give a quick explanation. So I have what I call helpers and editors. So what I did and what I've done multiple times over the past couple of years is said, hey, is there anybody who listens to my podcast regularly that would be down to just suggest timestamps for highlights? So that way I could have somebody else go review the highlights, actually make the edits, and then they could supply the edits to me, and then I could publish them. And that has ended up working really, really well. And I think the key, and I feel like this might be slimy, but at the same time, it's something that worked for me. If you ask for volunteers and say like, hey, I can't really afford to pay, I'm really just looking for somebody who would just love to help, and then you give something afterwards, you really thin out the people who will offer to help. Because if they're in it for the money, they're obviously going to want to help. But if they're actually in it to help you grow and help you grow your content, and just if they just want to help, the genuine people will come forward and say, yeah, absolutely, I would love to volunteer. And then anything that you're able to give when you're able to give it will be so appreciated because they know that you appreciate them and you're going out of your way to, to spend your money to give them something. $5 gift cards, $10 Steam gift cards, anything, video game keys. So it's okay to say, I don't have expendable income. I'm just looking for help. And Katie, especially you, the community that you have, I can almost guarantee that there's somebody out there that's like, I already watch every single stream and I already make clips. So why don't we just like make this a formal thing and I'll just give you a certain amount of clips. And then I'll explain kind of like the thoughts after the fact as well. So first I'll show you what this looks like. So this is a spreadsheet that is public to my helpers and my editors. So for every podcast, there is a section. So let's just go down here to Lobo Styles. This was an episode of the podcast. And as you can see, Noble Pastime is the helper that suggested these two timestamps. He gives a brief description of what the clip is. And then if there's anything extra that he think might be helpful to either me or the editor, he adds that there as well. So what I do is, after I know that a helper has made a suggestion of a clip, I go through and put green check marks next to the ones that I think are on brand, that are in line with the things that I want. Because there's no way, even if it was a clone of me, there's no way that every single thing that somebody else suggests is going to be the thing that I think is the most valuable for my social media and for my community. And as long as you set that expectation up front, you don't want to like have somebody go through the motions of putting in the hard work and suggesting highlights, and then you go, I don't really like that, and then feel bad. You just need to say up front, hey, I'm picky. I'm looking for a certain type of thing, and this is what I want. And it's not anybody's fault if they don't deliver what you want. But the good news is that if somebody suggests 5 things, there's a really good chance that 1 or maybe even 2 of those things are pretty good. And as you grow and as the people who are helping you grow with you, you will both get a better idea of what each other wants. And then you can work together better. And it's just about kind of like building that relationship as well. So you guys can't really see anything up here. Actually, I might be able to just hide this really quick, hide my camera. So here is a podcast that was with Bishop and Middle Age Stream. Here are 3 highlights that I have approved. And as you can see, Conbot is a lazy asshole and hasn't edited the highlights. I'm just kidding. He's done like 10 episodes before this. But yeah, that's just how it goes. And this has been the easiest way for me to pretty much put this into a routine. And it's really, really helped a lot. And like I said, as long as you're setting the expectation beforehand, like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I'm sort of picky. Please don't get butthurt if I don't pick the thing that you like. And, you might go, 5 streams and the same person is suggesting things and you don't pick anything that they suggest. It's going to happen. Maybe you guys just don't think the same things are funny or educational or valuable, and that's totally fine. It's going to be okay. And I can say that the other fun part is actually finding the people. I've had so many people go, yes, I volunteer, I want in, be super excited, and then they get into the Discord channel or they get into the document and, I go through all the motions of sharing the tools that they're going to need, and then they just ghost. 2 months will go by, they don't say anything, they don't post on the channel, and then you say, hey, just checking in, see how everything's going. They're like, yeah, sorry, I can't really help out. That has happened a lot and will continue to happen. But right now I have found a very, very solid group of people that have been helping me out with this. And, it's really hard to get out of your own head with something like this, right? Because you know exactly what you want. You don't think that anybody else can produce the same thing that you can. But the reality is they can't do it 100% of the time, but they can do it 50, 60% of the time. And when it does happen, it's better than having absolutely nothing. And, people are going to ghost you, and, people are going to choose things that you don't like, and that's all okay. But if they're choosing 5 things you don't like and 1 thing that you do like, you just grab that 1 thing and you just run with it. And that has proven to be I don't know what kind of, surplus in engagement or impressions that's had. But for me, it's just been like a really, really awesome thing to have going, because just thinking about like the 30,000 foot view on this sort of stuff. Podcast, 2.5 hour piece of content. And then when I get these highlights, I get maybe 3 or 4 micro pieces of content from that podcast. And if one of those clips was a question that somebody asked during the podcast, and I feel like I didn't give that great an answer, I can take the question out of one of these highlights and then expand on an answer and turn that into another piece of content. That can be a video piece or an audio piece. So getting jump started on a routine like this opens up the door for you to create more pieces of micro content, and it can be super, super valuable for you, and for your content, your community, and your brand. So that's kind of all I got. Look at that, 11 minutes, just like that. If anybody has any questions on this, if you want this Excel template, it's a Google sheet that I just made public to the people that are helping out. I am more than welcome to share it. I am a Google Sheets, or I am the sluttiest Google slut. I love all this stuff. It makes my life so easy, and it can make your life easy too. There was one other thing that I was going to say that I don't remember, but the people that, the first editor that I brought on, Mr. Vans Man, he's been one of my best friends for a long time. And he's just one of those dudes that believes in me, and he believes in what I do, and he just had absolutely no problem dedicating time to helping me out. He's like, dude, I want to see you succeed, and I want to be a part of it. And he has done an amazing job. And we brought on Conbot to do specifically Crocs and Hot Pockets edits, and he's been killing it. And then right now we have Noble Pastime, Tin Man, and I'm Space Shark that are suggesting Crocs and Hot Pockets highlights for me. And by the way, I'm also able to take Crocs and Hot Pockets highlights and put them on the Anchor podcast for Audio Snack, which is, again, another way to take micro content and move to another platform. So yeah, I hope this was insightful. I hope this proves to be good advice for somebody that's like, I really don't know how to do this. But the best way to do it is just to start it. Say, hey, I'm looking for somebody to, if you're already watching my streams, either clip or send me timestamps or something. And then obviously it's going to take some time from you because you have to review the stuff. But after a while, you might feel that you're able to let a little bit of that trust go. You're able to allow people to help you, and it might be beneficial for you in the long run. But this video has already been too long. How did I go from 11 minutes to 13 minutes? I got to go. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. Most of you are still asleep, and that's okay. But I love you. I love blue balls, and I'll see you soon.